Oh, this one's gonna be weird. Okay, I'm gonna try to rank a whole bunch of Stardew Valley characters, specifically ones you can interact with, at least to some degree. Uh, these are my personal opinions, and my opinions are often pretty questionable, so don't take it too seriously. Starting off strong with Abigail. Everyone's favorite rock eater is a favorite for a reason. She's fun, she's adventurous, and most importantly, she's a gamer. Abigail is a very solid iridium. Alex is a tough one. He definitely doesn't start off as the most likable character and comes off as being pretty shallow and arrogant. But as you get to know him more and raise your friendship with him, Alex does go through some pretty good character development and eventually even ends up apologizing for being rude. There is a downside of him being probably one of the hardest characters to gift though. We'll put him in silver. As much as the Pirate's Wife quest is one of the more interesting quests in Stardew Valley, unfortunately it is pretty much the only reason to interact with Birdie, so she will have to go into copper. The bouncer is only there to look intimidating and keep you out of the casino. Once you get a club card, he disappears and is never seen again. Though he does have a few pretty funny interactions, like dropping a mega bomb on you if you try to get past him. Copper. Caroline is arguably one of the most forgettable characters in the game. There really isn't much to her outside of having some weird tea drinking rituals and not having a great relationship with her daughter. Caroline will join Alex in silver. Clint is a controversial one. He's definitely a bit questionable and even a little creepy at times. Like, seriously, what is up with that? I swear I'm a good guy line. But at the same time, you do feel a bit bad for him. He's clearly an awkward and anxious guy who feels pretty dissatisfied with his life. We do eventually see him ask Emily to go out with him, and he is being worked to be a marriage candidate in the future, so I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of character development there. For now though, Clint will have to go in silver. I cannot stand Demetrius. He is pretentious, he is annoying, he is creepy. I do not understand why Robin is married to him. Next. The dwarf lives in the mines, sells you very overpriced bombs, and just kind of minds his own business. Very unproblematic. We can bring him to the movies though, which I think is pretty cool. Honestly, he can go in gold. Elliot is an eccentric creative who lives in a cabin on the beach. I feel like he could have a lot of potential, but unfortunately, he is one of the more boring people in the game and doesn't have too many interesting interactions or cutscenes. So he will have to go in silver. Talking about eccentric, Emily is all about self-expression, meditating, gems, dancing, clothing. You get the vibe. Some people find her a little unsettling, and honestly, I kind of see it. I do think she could get along with Clint pretty well, though. Gold for the quirky factor. The town's granny is the biggest sweetheart. Evelyn takes care of flowers, bakes cookies, and claims every pair of broken glasses you give her is actually hers. Iridium tier. Fizz. I didn't even know he had a name up until now. His whole job consists of sitting in a cave waiting for you to come asking for a 1% perfection waiver costing 500,000 gold. Hard pass. Go to copper. George is a grumpy old man, but honestly, I have a hard time disliking him. I mean, let the man watch his TV and eat his leeks. Silver. Gil gives us stuff once in a while for slaying monsters. His only quotes in the game are, "Come back when you've got something to show me," "Snore," and during the desert festival, "Come back when you've proven yourself in the caverns." He's kinda lame. The government rolls through once a year to eat the community soup and apparently can appear in the movie theater lobby. Not much else to say. We don't get a lot of interactions with Grandpa because, well, Yeah. He is the reason we have the farm in the first place, though, and he does show up after 2 years to evaluate your performance, so into silver he goes. I really wish we could actually befriend Gunther and see more of him, because he does seem like he could be quite interesting. Unfortunately, he seems to be glued to that museum desk, only leaving it to hand us the rusty key at one point. I don't want to put him at the bottom though, so... Low silver? I love Gus. He's a jolly saloon owner who loves oranges and gives Linus food because he does not want anyone in town to go hungry. He deserves to go into the prismatic tier. Haley is an interesting one. Much like Alex, she starts off a bit arrogant, but develops into an actually really nice character. I feel like people either love or hate her, but personally, I'll put her in gold. The Hat Mouse. It's a mouse in an abandoned house who sells hats. What more need I say? Harvey. He's a doctor. He loves pickles. He's just a little boring. He also charges you even if you're married to him. So he can go in silver. This guy's essentially the bouncer from the casino, except he is guarding a witch hut and his one request is void mayo. And he doesn't drop a mega bomb on you. Lame. Jess likes to tell you that you smell like grass, feed crawdads to Marnie's cows, and is for some reason incredibly hard to gift. She's also like 6 years old. I don't know. Silver, I guess. Jody is a very depressed housewife. Her husband is on deployment for the first year of you being in the valley, and she takes care of Sam and Vincent all on her own. I honestly just kind of feel bad for her. She really does not have many positive interactions or lines in the game. Silver. Kent is Jody's husband. He's a war veteran who arrives to the valley in spring of year 2 and for some reason sends you bombs in the mail. He can join his wife in silver. I dare you to find me one person who doesn't adore these little sentient apples and wouldn't put them in the highest tier there is. And I mean, who doesn't love Krobus? He's an absolutely adorable little shadow guy, and if marriage is not your vibe, he will gladly be your roommate and give you hugs whenever you'd like. Of course, he's in prismatic. I think Leah is pretty overlooked. I get why she doesn't have the same appeal as, say, Abigail, but I personally feel like an artist who lives in the cabin in the woods, forages her own food, and loves wine, goat cheese, and truffles is an absolutely perfect addition to this game. She even makes a sculpture for you. Leah gets iridium. Leo is a kid that somehow survived on an island with the help of parrots. After getting enough hearts with him, he ends up coming to Stardew Valley to live with Linus and joins Jess and Vincent in being schooled by Penny. I think his story is pretty incredible and kind of overlooked, so I'll put him in iridium as well. Lewis. You can't love him, can't quite hate him, and most definitely can't avoid him. His ways may be a bit questionable at times, and the secret romance with Marnie is kind of insane, but overall, I don't think he's all that terrible. I'll go ahead and place him like right in the middle. Linus is truly low cortisol goals. That man lives in a tent in the mountains, forages and fishes for his own food, and avoids people as a whole, all because, well, he just likes living that way. And I love that for him. Truly an unbothered king. We don't see a whole lot of Marlin around, but he does seem pretty cool when he does come around. He does rescue us from the mines here and there, and I do think Marnie would be better off with him than with Lewis. Unfortunately, I can't really put him any higher purely because we barely ever see him, so silver. Marnie is a very sweet fellow farmer. She sells a whole bunch of stuff we need for the farm, sends us hay for our animals, takes care of Jazz, brings us a pet to adopt, and is in a very strange romance situation with Lois. I think she deserves gold. Maru is smart and kind. She loves astronomy and inventing slash building things. I really couldn't think of anything else to say about her. Mars is the manager of Jojo Mart and is almost cartoonishly evil. If you go down the community center route, Pierre will punch him into the stratosphere and he will never be seen again. Incredible. I'ma be honest with you, I think Mr. Key is a creep. He's this random dude who is blue for some reason. He operates the desert casino, resides in a dark hidden room on Ginger Island, gives the player crazy challenges, drops off mystery boxes from his little plane, gives you snake milk to drink, has a fruit with his face on it. I honestly, what even is he? I don't know. Gold for the strangest factor. Old Mariner. The Old Mariner appears on the beach on rainy days and gives you a mermaid pendant, which is basically the game's equivalent of an engagement ring. He calls it an amulet, and honestly, I always thought he was a ghost of sorts, but that's not really clarified. Considering he only has one purpose in the game, we'll put him in copper. Pam is kind of the town drunk, who is also a bus driver. Yeah. She lives in a trailer with Penny, and you get the option to actually build her a house in the late game. I think she's pretty silly. Speaking of Penny, she's probably the most shy of all the characters. She took on being the teacher for the kids in town and spends a lot of free time either cleaning the trailer or reading. She's very sweet, and although personally not my favorite, I do feel like I have to put her in gold. I mean, what is there to say about Pierre that hasn't been said already? He's the owner of the general store who resells your crops and hides his secret stashes around. Also hard to gift. Copper. Professor Snail is a silly old man who runs a field office on Ginger Island. After freeing him from a cave he was trapped in, and we can help him by filling out some island surveys, as well as donating bones and fossils to get some rewards in return. Personally, a big fan, and even though interactions with him are very limited, I am still compelled to put him in silver. Robin is a favorite for many people. I mean, the Romance Robin mod exists for a reason. She's the town carpenter and honestly feels like if a breath of fresh air was a character. I love Robin. I think everyone loves Robin. This one's a no-brainer. The Raccoon Family. I think the Raccoon Family was a delightful addition to the game. The questline is really fun, and the fact that you can get a new quest every 7 days is great. And they're also just really cute. Iridium. Sam works at Jojo Mart, plays guitar in a band, rides his skateboard, and even plays video games. He's a marriage candidate, but seems to be on the younger side. I think he's neither great nor bad. He can go somewhere in the middle. Now, Sandy, I am a big fan of. She's a little sweet, a little sassy, a little eccentric, stands out a lot as a character, and I think it's great that she will soon be a marriage candidate. Sandy goes in Iridium. Sebastian is another favorite among Stardew Valley players. I mean, he's an introverted old guy who spends most of his time working on the computer from his family's basement, or staring out into the water, both at the mountain lake and the ocean. He also plays in Sam's band, plays video games, and is very fond of frogs. Sebastian also has beef with Demetrius, which definitely makes me like him more. He can go in gold. Okay, listen. I know, this might be very triggering. Shane is my personal favorite marriage candidate in the game. I know. I love the character arc he goes through. I will die on the hill that the cutscenes are some of, if not the best in the game, and you know what? Sue me. The trash bear is as whimsical as he is mysterious. Where did he come from? How does he know how to play panpipes? How did he magically clean up the town's trash? Is he the Lorax? Is he Mary Poppins? We'll never know. But what we do know is that he is a solid gold Another 6-year-old, except a bit more extroverted than Jess. Constantly complains about the food Jody makes him. It's over. Willie is another treasure. Absolutely unproblematic fisherman who gives you your first fishing pole, talks like the wholesome old sailor he is, and takes you to Ginger Island and back on his boat. I mean, you gotta love him. And to finish things off, we got the Wizard. A bit of an antisocial one, he doesn't really like being visited all that much. And when you just meet him, he hosts probably the worst tea party of all time. He's definitely a pretty interesting character though. I mean, he's a wizard. He can go in gold. Let me just, I don't even know, man. Okay, this feels somewhat right, I guess. That about concludes my tier list. I'll admit, it might be a bit questionable. Maybe very questionable. I might update one day. Who knows? Either way, I hope you enjoyed. See ya.